So today we're going to be practicing the MoreYoga water flow, and I've got Luana and Sophie with me. Luana is actually nursing a small injury today, and she might have to modify, but this is a really good introduction for you to real life, because when you teach a real class, there will be a number of people who will come up at the beginning of class and maybe mention injury to you. And you will need to bring in little modifications for the people in class. So I will be mindful of Luana and her injury during class, and I might invite her to modify things. So we're going to start on our backs. We're going to start lying on our backs. So just come and lie on your backs with your knees bent. So lying in constructive rest, that's it. And the MoreYoga water flow is focused very much on the second chakra. And what we want to embrace in this flow are the qualities of the second chakra. So that fluidity, that ability to go with the flow, that movement or breath and movement. So I will be cueing that in the class today. And we're just going to start with simple breathing, so just simple breath awareness. So allowing ourselves to drop down, and here we embrace the qualities of pratyahara, so that inward gaze, that dropping inwards. And pranayama, just simple breath awareness for the moment. So just taking a few nice, deep, slow breaths. And the breath at this point does not need to be particularly forceful, just expansive, deep, and nasal. So just inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Lovely. We'll just take a few more breaths here. And if you want, you can bring your awareness to the front of the body as you inhale. So just allowing the breath to rise up the front of the body as you inhale. And as you exhale, the breath to glide down the back of the body. So creating this circular breath. So inhaling up the front of the body and exhaling down along the back of the body. Just creating that shape. We're going to start bringing some very gentle movement into the body. So as you inhale, you're going to draw your navel in and bring the lower back into the mat. So as if you're zipping your pubic bone towards you. And as you exhale, you're really going to find the arch in the spine. You might even want to exaggerate that movement slightly. Inhale, drawing the navel in. And exhale, finding the arch through the spine. Beautiful. And we've got lovely demos here. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. So it's just a pelvic tilt we're playing with. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to take 1 more. Inhale. And exhale, just coming to a natural shape in the spine and just noticing what that natural shape is. Where do you kind of land without thinking? And then we're going to inhale, reaching the arms up over the head. We're going to keep the ribs nice and contained, and exhale, bringing the arms by the side. Let's take 4 more like that. So the ribs stay slightly engaged so that the movement can really happen from the shoulder joint. So from that rotator cuff. Let's take 3 more. Inhaling, reaching up and over, and exhaling. Beautiful. Inhale, and it looks as if you guys have literally practiced. You're perfectly synchronized. And we'll take 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Lovely. Now we're going to combine the movements. So just make sure that your feet are close enough to your body. So your ankles need to be more or less in line with your knees. And we're going to inhale, lift the hips and the arms, reaching up and over. And exhale, slowly coming down. Lovely. Let's take 4 more like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, down. Lovely. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, roll down the spine, so massaging it. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. And 1 more, inhale. And exhale slowly down. Lovely. We're going to add 1 little bit. So we're going to come up, and this time we're going to come onto the ball of the foot. So lifting everything up and lifting the heels. And then we're going to stagger our descent. So release the spine nice and slowly. The arms. The heels. Lovely. 4 more. Inhale, reach up. Everything lifts at the same time. And then we stagger the descent. The spine, the arms, the heels. Okay, just find your own way with it. So we want to create that sense of fluidity. And just find your way with it, even if it's not exactly what I described. But just kind of feeling the parts. Let's take 2 more. Last one. Excellent. Lovely. Bringing the arms back by the side, the heels down, the knees into the chest. Give them a nice big hug. And just take a little rock from side to side. Just take any movement you want to take. If you prefer to stay still, that's fine. But anything that feels good here, you can just take rocking, massaging the lower back. Luana's moving into the hip joints. So just bring a little bit of fluidity and mobility into the body. And Sophie's prepped herself for what comes next, rocking back and rocking up. So we're going to come up to seated. Whenever you're ready, you can rock back and up a few times, or just come straight up to seated. We're going to come into a cross-legged seated position. And you can rest your hands on the mat, on your knees, on your thighs. So just finding the space where you want to place your hands. We're just going to take a few breaths here, practicing that circular breath we initiated at the beginning of the practice, sitting down now. So we're going to inhale up the front of the body and exhale along the back. And the shape, I describe it as circular, is slightly oval. And you can really move outside the body, so you don't need to trace the body. You can kind of create this safety bubble within which you can breathe. So inhaling up the front, exhaling along the back. And just take a few more rounds of that circular breath. Take your last round. And then just give yourself a forward fold. So bring your fingertips forwards. We're going to fold forwards, but keep that movement of the breath in the spine, and that might translate as just the movement of the breath, so that natural movement, or you might want to mimic it a little bit, just inhaling, lifting slightly, exhaling, folding and releasing. Inhaling, just creating that fluidity, or that sense of fluidity. That kind of watery feeling in the spine. So let's take 2 more breaths here. Beautiful, lovely. So make things your own. There is a level of freedom here. And then roll yourselves up. Lovely. We're just going to change the cross of the legs. And we'll sit nice and tall and just take a few more rounds of circular breaths. So that inhale up the front of the body, that exhale down the back. So just breathing like that a few times. So just embracing that rhythm of the breath, that flow of the breath, that rise and fall of the breath. Take 1 more round. And then once again, come into that forward fold. Just lean in, fold. Keep the sitting bones grounded, yeah. So when people have a lot of mobility, their sitting bones often float up. And for Luana, this is happening slightly. You just really want to anchor down. It does allow you to access the lower back a bit more. And then use that ripple of the breath as you Spend a little bit of time here, just folding and releasing. That's it. It doesn't matter how far you go. It's more about the experience in the body. And then we're slowly going to roll up. We're going to come onto all fours, so onto hands and knees. And as you inhale, just open up the chest. So simple cat-cows. And as you exhale, round the spine, draw the navel in, curl. We'll take a few more. Inhale to open, lift. Exhale to round, curl, draw the navel in. 3 more. Inhale. Beautiful. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, round, and just press into child's pose. So release the sitting bones to the heels, stretch the arms forwards, and take a few breaths there. Breathing into the back body. So breathing into the back ribs, into the back lungs, really allowing the breath to expand into that back body that we visited through that circular breath. That's it, lovely. And then let's come back onto all fours. And then we'll take a few hip circles. So we're going to circle round. And here as well, you can really make it your own. So if you want to kind of integrate a cat-cow into that, feel free to. So just allow yourself to be quite free in your movement. Lovely. And I've literally got the best models I could possibly have. When you go out and teach, this is not quite going to be your reality. It will be slightly different. And then we're going to circle around the other way. And there's a lot of creaking and cracking here. So just releasing of tension, which is great. And then we'll take another child's pose. Just take a few breaths there. So stretch the arms forwards, release the forehead to the mat. Take a few breaths there. Lovely. Once again, breathing into that back body. So I'd really like to see those ribs expand as you inhale and soften as you exhale. Just be mindful of relaxing your shoulders, Sophie, a little bit. That's it. Good. Beautiful. Let's come on to all fours. And we're going to tuck the toes under. We're going to come into our downward dog and we're going to pedal it. So we're going to bend one knee, bend the other. It's just going to be nice and fluid. Yeah, crack, creak, toes, knees, etc. Absolutely fine. Okay, and then we're going to walk the hands to the feet. And here we're either going to have our fingertips on the mat, or if your hamstrings are a little bit tighter, you might need to bring the hands to the shins. We're just going to take a little spinal flow here. So inhaling to lift the chest, open the heart. Exhale to fold. And you can play with the bend of the knees here. You don't have to keep them straight. Inhale, rippling through the spine. Exhaling, folding and releasing. Let's take 3 more. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Last 2. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Let's slowly roll up through bent knees. Reach the arms up. Take a nice big lift as you circle the arms to the ceiling. And exhale, float the hands down to the mat. Walk back into your downward dog. Excellent. So from here, we're going to inhale the heels up. So float up and exhale, draw the heels down. And you might want to wave a little bit through the spine as you do that. Just continue. We're going to take 3 more after this one. Lovely. Yeah, beautiful. And we've got some really nice waves in the spine here. Last 2. So there's a bit of rounding on the lift and lengthening on the release. Excellent. Now let's roll into a plank. And we're going to release the knees, the chest, the chin. So we're going to come onto our bellies. Beautiful. Now so come all the way down, Sophie. Lovely. Now take your fingertips off the mat. So yeah, on the floor. That's it. And come onto fingertips. As you inhale, you're going to lift the chest into a little cobra. And as you exhale, come down. Lovely. 4 more like that. If you want to add a little bit of shimmying of the shoulders, Feel free to play around a little bit with the movement. We often have quite a lot of stickiness in the shoulders, so we're just really working on unraveling that. So do what you need to do to unravel that stickiness in the upper back. Let's just take one more. And release. Let's take the hands by the ribs now for a simple cobra. Lovely, Luana was enjoying that. Exhale into downward dog. We're going to do it once more, by the way, so you get to do that again. We're taking 2 rounds of this warm-up sequence. Lovely. And then walk your hands to your feet, and we're going to take that little spinal flow. So inhale, floating the chest up, lengthening, exhaling, folding. 4 more. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale. And 3 more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Last 2. Inhale. Exhale. And just 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Lovely. Softly bend the knees. Roll yourselves up. Sweep the arms up. Take a nice big lift to the ceiling. Exhale the prayer back to the ground. Walk back into your downward dog when you're ready. Excellent. And as you inhale, lift the heels up. And as you exhale, draw them down. Let's take 4 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Last 3. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, roll into your plank. Release the knees, the chest, the chin. So come onto your bellies. You're going to take your fingertips off your mat. So once again, taking that cobra flow. Inhale, floating up. And exhale, down. Lovely. Keep going. Just go at your own pace. You're moving so beautifully. You don't need my cues actually here. So we'll just take a few more, just lifting and releasing. Yeah, so just your little cobra flow at your own pace. 1 more. And release. Let's bring the hands by the ribs. We're going to press back into a downward dog. So just come through your own variation, either through cobra, through child's pose, or through reverse plank. So you can lift whichever way you want. Lovely. Take a few breaths here. So just find that fluidity that we've created. So we've moved and opened up the fascia, the tissue in the body. And maybe you can already feel that now as you hold your downward dog. Let's softly bend the knees. You can walk or you can take a little hop to the front of your mat. We're going to inhale, floating the chest up. Exhale, fold and release. Let's roll up through bent knees, or inhale, reach up. And as you exhale, fold. Your feet are hip width apart. Come on to fingertips, lengthen, take that halfway lift. If you need to take hold of the shins, that's fine. Exhale, fold. You can do everything with bent knees. Inhale, reach out and up. Out and up, all the way up. Exhale, fold. Come on to fingertips, lengthen, look ahead. Exhale, fold and release. 1 more. Roll up, all the way up. Lovely. Whoops. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come onto a halfway lift and then step your right leg back. So we're going to drop the right knee to the mat. We're going to float the arms up, inhaling. And as you exhale, you're just going to bow down over that left leg. So the hands don't need to come to the mat. They can if they want to. Inhale, reach up. You can take a circle or straight up. Exhale, fold. We're just going to take 1 more like that. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. Now you're going to take your hands to your mat. Keep your right hand inside your left foot and take a big circle with your left arm. Through space. Beautiful. Now take your left hand down to your mat, step into your plank. And we're going to take a little vinyasa here. So you can take knees, chest, chin. Inhale into cobra. And exhale into downward dog. Let's take a few breaths there. Breathing deeply. Nice deep breaths. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhaling. Exhaling, let's softly bend the knees. You can take a walk or a jump to the front of the mat. Inhale to float the chest up. You can keep your feet hip width apart here. Exhale, fold. Let's roll up. We're going to circle all the way up. And all the way down, coming onto fingertips, floating the chest up, lengthening, looking ahead. Folding forwards, bend the knees, roll up once more. So these half sun salutations. Exhale, fold. Come onto fingertips, lengthen, look ahead. Exhale, fold and release. Roll up, sweep the arms up. Take a nice big inhale as you lift. Exhale, hands to mat. Halfway lift, lengthen the spine, step your left leg back, drop your left knee, point your toes, reach the arms up. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, bow over that right leg. Lovely. 2 more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bow. 1 more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bow. Your left hand comes inside your foot. Big circle with the right arm, really working into that shoulder joint. Good. Right hand down. Come into plank. Take knees, chest, chin, or a chaturanga if that's in your practice. Cobra or upward dog. Lovely, Sophie. Thank you for demoing the chaturanga. Beautiful chaturanga. And taking a few breaths there. Nice deep breaths. Just breathing in. And breathing out. Breath in. Breath out. Let's softly bend the knees, walk or jump to the front of the mat. As you inhale, float the chest up. Exhale, fold and release. We're going to continue with this flow for a few rounds. Reach up, lift. Exhale, we're just going to add some modifications. Come onto fingertips, lengthen, look ahead. Right leg back. Drop your right knee, point your toes. Reach the arms up, inhaling. Exhaling, bowing. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bow. 1 more. Inhale, up. Exhale, bow. Right hand inside your foot. This time we're going to lift the right knee and then take a big circle with the left arm with the knee lifted. Lovely. Left hand down. Plank. Knees, chest, chin, or your chaturanga. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog. Let's take a few breaths there. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breath in. And breath out. Let's softly bend the knees. You can walk or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale to float the chest up. Exhale to fold and release. Let's roll up. Sweep the arms up. Big inhale, lift. Exhale, hands to mat. Come onto fingertips, lengthen, look ahead, left leg back. Drop your knee, point your toes, reach the arms up. Once again, our little flow. Inhale, Anjalyasana flow. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, lift, reach up. Exhale, bow. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, bow. Left hand inside your foot, left knee lifts, big circle with your right arm. Right hand down, plank. Your choice of vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to downward dog. Let's take a few breaths there. Nice deep breaths. Breathing in. And breathing out. So really grounding through the palms, spreading the fingers out. Shoulders nice and spacious in your downward dog, especially now with the heat we've generated. Softly bend the knees, walk, jump to the front of the mat. As you inhale, float your chest up, lengthen. Exhale, fold and release. Inhale, reach up, circle the arms, lift the palms to the ceiling. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, look ahead, step your right leg back. Drop your right knee, point your toes, reach the arms up. We're going to go with our flow once again with variations. Inhale, exhale, fold, bow down. 2 more, inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow. 1 more, inhale. Exhale, bow. Your hands to your mat now. Right hand inside the foot, right knee lifts. Big circle with the left arm. Now take your left hand down to your mat. We're going to come into a 3-legged dog. So your left leg is going to swing up and back. Lovely. Now take your left knee into your chest very lightly. Step your left foot in between your hands. Come into a high lunge, so float the arms up. As you inhale, straighten that front leg. And as you exhale, bend the knees and brush the hands back, so sweep them back. Just 2 more. Inhale, lift, straighten that front leg. Exhale, bend and brush the fingertips back. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale all the way down to the mat. You can either step straight into downward dog or take a vinyasa, so your choice. Just do what feels right for your body. Excellent. Nice deep breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. Softly bend the knees, walk or jump to the front of the mat. As you inhale, float the chest up. Exhale, fold and release. Roll up, sweep the arms up. Take a nice big inhale as you lift. Exhale, dive down. Float up onto your fingertips. Inhale, lengthen. Step your left leg back. Drop your knee, point your toes, reach the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, bow. Two more. Inhale. Exhale, bow. And one more. Inhale. Exhale, bow. Hands all the way down to the mat. Lift your back knee up. Big circle with that right arm towards this wall here. And then release the right hand to the mat. Three-legged dog. You're going to swing that right leg up and back. Draw your right knee into your chest. Step your right foot through. Come into a high lunge. As you inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, just sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend, brush the arms back. Two more. Inhale, lift and straighten. Exhale, bend, brush back. One more. Inhale, lift and straighten. Exhale, bend, release the hands to the mat, a vinyasa, or straight into your downward dog. We'll take a few breaths there in downward dog. Nice deep breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. Nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. Just a couple more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, one more, inhale. Exhale, softly bend your knees, walk or jump to the front of the mat. As you inhale, float the chest up. As you exhale, fold and hold. So just heel toe your feet apart and just take a few breaths here in your forward fold. Just releasing the body there. Lovely. If you feel that you would benefit from bending your knees, feel free to soften the knees a little bit. And really pull the energy up through the back of the legs and hinge from the hip bones. So the fold is really from the hips rather than from the spine. Okay? Good. Lovely. Try and relax the upper body just a little bit more. Good. Lovely. Nice. Getting that release through the shoulders. And then through bent knees, let's roll up. We're just going to bring the feet together, the hands to prayer. Stand nice and tall, ground through both feet, and then bring your hands by your side. We're going to sit into chair pose. So feet together, really energize the arms, reach them forwards. Yeah, and you just want to find the right pelvic tilt. So we don't want to tuck under too much, but we want to lengthen through the lower back. Engage the pelvic floor, navel to spine, lift all that energy into the heart space and reach it into the fingertips. Yeah, keeping those shoulders nice and soft. Excellent. And then fold forwards. Float the chest up, halfway lift. And then either go through a vinyasa or step straight into a downward dog. So really make it your own. If you feel that you still have the energy for some vinyasas, go for it. If your shoulders are feeling a little bit fragile, ride them out. Vinyasas can be quite strong on the shoulders. Let's float the right leg up. And if it feels nice, you can take a hip opener here. Yeah, lovely. Just stay connected to that left hip, so don't dip into it. Just pull it back and then open the hip from there. That's good. Nice, Sophie. Yeah. Your right leg. Realign the hip. Gently step that right foot in between your hands. We're going to come into a warrior two. So your right arm is going to come forwards, your left arm back. And with warrior two, the deeper you go, the wider you have to go with the feet. That's lovely. Yeah, and just imagine that you have a wall behind your leg and you're just kind of pressing that leg into the wall behind you. Good. I'm not going to adjust Luana because I know she has a bit of an injury, so I'm letting her find her way with it. As we inhale, reach back. And exhale, take your elbow to your knee. Take a full circle with your left arm. Okay, we're going to reverse back once again. Take everything back into reverse warrior. Right hand inside your foot, full circle with your left arm. We're going to reverse, take it back once again. And then right hand outside your foot, full circle with your left arm. Lovely. Let's come back into warrior two. Yeah, and then we're just going to swivel into a goddess pose. So from warrior two, we're going to swivel into goddess, and we're going to take our arms into cactus arms. Brilliant. Lovely. And then reach the arms up towards the ceilings with the palms. So keep the knees bent. Yeah. We're going to take a bit of a static pose, and you can turn the palms towards each other and really energize those arms. Yeah, lovely. And you can either stay there or you can bring just a little bit of movement into the hips if you want to. Up to you. You can stay here nice and bold, strong, resilient, or you can continue with that theme of fluidity. Okay, and then we're going to take our hands to our thighs. We're going to take a few cat-cows here, so just drop the chest forwards a little bit, but keep the arms straight. Inhale, open the chest. And exhale, round, curl the spine, draw the belly in. That's it, lovely. 4 more, inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2, inhale. Exhale. And 1 more, inhale. Exhale. Okay, from here, we're just going to straighten up, come all the way up to standing, turn the toes in slightly, reach the arms up, and let's come into our forward fold. So Pasarita Padottasana. We're just going to come onto the fingertips, lengthen, look ahead. And as we exhale, we're going to fold and hinge from the hips. Excellent. Take a few breaths there. So you're trying to reach the crown of your head towards the ground, rather than trying to move backwards. It's really about lengthening the spine, so lifting up through the back of the legs. Yeah, and if this is too strong, you can always be here with your fingertips on the mat and keeping the spine long, or you can use blocks. Excellent. We're going to take our hands to our hips, and we're slowly going to roll up. Beautiful. Yeah, through a nice long spine. And then we're going to come into warrior two. We're going to reverse it, take it back. And then windmill the hands down to the mat and take a twisted lunge. So your left hand stays down, your right arm reaches up. Right hand down, we're going to take a 3-legged dog here. So reaching the right leg up and back. Take your right knee into your chest, gently step that right foot through. We're going to come into a high lunge. Reaching the arms up, bringing the hands to prayer at the heart, and we're going to take our twisted lunge here. So Parivrita Parshvakonasana. We're going to draw the navel in, really find that twist, and you can either take a half twist or a full twist. So Sophie and Luana have gone for the full version, but if you prefer to be here, that's absolutely fine. In a way, it's harder work because you really have to get that quad working. Let's take a couple more breaths here. So navel in, crown of the head moving forwards. We're going to come back to center. We're going to float the arms up and then just come into a 3-legged dog. So release the hands down. We're going to give that leg a little rest. You might want to give it a little shake out. And then we're going to bring the right knee into the chest, step the right foot in between the hands. Walk the fingertips forwards, float your left leg up. So like a supported warrior 3. Here, of course, if you needed bricks under your hands, you could place bricks underneath your hands for support. We're going to inhale here, and as you exhale, bend both knees and draw your knee to your nose. 2 more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, really ground through that right foot and slowly bring your left knee to your chest, reaching the arms up. Excellent. Stand tall, gaze forward, so drishti steady on a point. Press into your right foot, engage the bandhas, so mula and uddiyana, to find that lift through the left knee. And then bring your hands to prayer. We're going to come into figure 4. So left ankle to right knee. And we're going to come down. So you can either come to here, or you can go further, taking one elbow to your knee, one elbow to your instep. If you want to go even further, you could hook the elbows outside the shin. It's really up to you, okay? It's not a competition. Just be where you need to be. Lovely. Gaze steady, and both Luana and Sophie are really getting that drishti, that gaze, very steady. And then we're slowly going to come up and bring the knee into the chest, and then step into a high lunge. Reach the arms up. Hands to mat. You can take a vinyasa or straight into downward dog, your choice. Lovely. Let's take a few breaths there. Nice deep breaths, inhaling. Exhaling, head nice and relaxed. So just let the neck be nice and relaxed. Lovely, good. Let's softly bend the knees, walk, jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen, look ahead. Exhale, fold and release, feet together, come into chair pose. So just come all the way up, sit nice and low, reach the arms forward. Make sure that your knees are not over your toes, so you want to be able to see your toes. Lovely. And then pull the energy up into the chest. Yeah, so really lift that energy up into that heart space. Good, pull the arms back a little bit. And then release the hands to the mat. And we can either take a vinyasa or step straight into downward dog. Excellent. Lovely. Let's float the left leg up and back. If you want to take a hip opener, feel free to. Yeah, just keep that right hip nice and anchored. Beautiful. Keep pressing into both hands, so you might need to press a little bit more into that right hand. Yeah. And then extend the leg, realign the hips, gently step that left foot through. And we're going to come into warrior 2. So left arm forwards, right arm back. And with warrior 2, you want that knee to be in line with the ankle. So you don't want the knee to be forwards. So you might need to spread the feet wider. If you've gone quite deep, we're going to reverse, take it back. Left elbow to knee, full circle with your right arm. Take it back, reverse. Left hand inside your foot, full circle with your right arm. And again, reverse, take it back. Left hand outside your foot, full circle with your right arm. Reverse, take it back, and then just come back into your warrior 2. And we're going to shift into goddess pose. So just finding your goddess with cactus arms. Lift and open into the chest, into the heart, and then reach the arms up and hold. Yeah. So I'm getting smiley faces here, but normally when I teach this, I get pretty cross faces. So taking a few breaths there. Yeah, and if your class is looking at you with a cross face, it's just because they're working hard. Don't take it personally. And then we're going to take our hands to our thighs. And here we're going to take a little bit of a shoulder movement. So bringing the right or the left shoulder to center and then just alternating. So you're just moving from side to side. And then we're going to come back to center and then just roll up, bring the feet parallel, reach the arms up. So we're going to take a second round of Pasarita. And you can either bring the hands to the mat, or if you wanted, you could take a bind here. So 2 peace fingers, 1 thumb around your big toe. Lovely. And just really lift and lengthen up through the back of the legs, just finding that hinge from the sitting bones to through the hip flexors. Lovely. Good. Moving the crown of the head towards the ground, so that lengthening of the spine. Excellent. Brilliant. Couple more breaths, just taking time. And you want to press into the outer seams of the legs. We often press back in this pose, and it upsets the balance of the pose, but it also doesn't really allow us to maximize it. You get a lot more if you press outwards rather than backwards. Let's take our hands to our hips. Let's roll up. We're going to come into Warrior Two. Let's reverse, take it back. Windmill the hands down to the mat. Right hand down, left arm up, twisted lunge. Left hand down, 3-legged dog. Let's reach the left leg up and back. Left knee into chest, step the left foot through. And let's reach the arms up, high lunge. We're going to bring the hands to prayer at the heart. So we're going to take that twisted lunge once again. Yeah. And we really, so Luana and Sophie are demoing it beautifully, but we really want to keep that engagement through the back leg. Often people will twist, and actually Luana's giving us a really nice demo. She's put the knee down to modify. But often people will twist from the hips rather than from the belly. So you want to twist from the belly. And then let's take the arms up, lift up. And then release the hands to the mat. Let's take that 3-legged dog. We can shake that left leg out. And then draw the left knee into the chest, step the left foot through, walk the fingertips forwards, right leg up. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend that right leg back. Exhale, knee to nose. Just one more. Inhale. Knee to nose. We're going to come all the way up so your gaze follows the floor, then the wall in front of you. And then the right knee comes to the chest. The arms reach up. Breathe here, so press into that left foot. And we all have wobbly days, so if you're wobbling, don't worry. But the gaze is important, the drishti. Bringing your hands to prayer, let's take that figure of 4 on the other side. So just taking it as deep or not. And you can, find your way to it. Excellent. Lovely. And then let's slowly float back with the right knee into the chest, reaching the arms up. We're going to slowly glide back into a high lunge with the right leg back. We're going to release the hands to the mat. You can take a vinyasa or come straight into downward dog, your choice. Let's take a few breaths in downward dog. Nice deep breaths. Lovely. Yeah. And then let's just drop the knees into a child's pose. So let's come and take a few resting breaths here. Just taking time to notice the heat in your body, the warmth, the malleability of the tissue, the fascia of the body. So as it warms up, and when we do these fluid flowing movement, it really unlocks a lot of tension, a lot of resistance in the body. So just allow yourself to embrace that in your child's pose. And then from here, we're going to take a downward dog. And we're going to float our right leg up. We're going to bring the right knee into the chest, and we're going to lightly step the right foot all the way outside your right hand. We're going to drop the left knee. Bring the hands to the mat, And you can either stay here, you can start bending the elbows, you could put blocks underneath your elbows and be supported. You can bring your forearms to the mat. So just take whatever feels right for you for this lizard pose. Lovely. Yeah. And Sophie has pointed her toes. Luana has tucked them under. Either are fine. So the tucking under can help you protect your knee, and it might hold you back a little bit. The pointing really allows you to sink down quite deeply. And the front foot, they've both chosen to have it grounded, but you can have it grounded or you could come onto the outer edge of the foot. I personally find it's much easier to come onto the outer edge, so for me it's a bit of a cop-out when I do that. Grounding is harder. But yeah, just play around, kind of discover your own patterns. Good. Okay, and then we're going to lift back onto the hands, and from here we're just going to literally slide the foot into pigeon. Okay, so with pigeon, the closer the foot is to you, the easier it's going to be. The more the shin is parallel, the more challenging the posture will be, but it might also put unnecessary pressure on your knees, okay? And if anybody has any knee injuries, and this is not good, you're going to come onto your back into eye of the needle, okay? So we're going to lift up, float up, and then we're just going to fold forward. So either onto our forearms or all the way onto our foreheads, if that is available. Lovely. So I'm just going to bring you a little bit that way. You've chosen to take the shin into a very strong position, which seems fine for your body, but yeah, air. Excellent. Now we're just going to sit in, come up, so come up first. And then we're going to sit into that right hip. So just drop into the right hip. And we're going to swing the left leg over. So you can either keep both knees bent, or for some of you, it might be better just to straighten that front leg. It's up to you. We're going to take the left hand behind us, the right arm up, and then hook your right elbow outside your knee for your twist. And we'll just take a few breaths here. So sit nice and tall. And just make sure that your shoulders are nice and relaxed. So, yeah. Good. Lovely. Excellent. Okay, and then we're just going to counter twist to the other side briefly, so keeping the legs where they are, but just moving the body. And then we're going to come back to center. We're going to keep that left shin in front. So we're going to take a posture which I call square pose. Some people call it a fire log pose. It has quite a few names. I think there are also pigeon variations. The left shin is in front. The right leg is behind. Or if you want to go for the strong variation, you can take your left ankle to your right knee. And as you can see, I've been practicing for a very long time, but for me, this is still quite challenging. I just don't have a lot of external hip rotation. So do what is right for you. Don't put pressure on your knees. Sit nice and tall. And then we're going to fold forwards. And just breathe there. Lovely. Yeah. So this is not... you don't want to have your heel on your thigh, so Luana and Sophie are demoing it very nicely. You really want to have that heel on your knee. So it's not your half lotus pose, it's a different posture. Let's take a few more breaths here. And you should really be feeling it in the outer hips. With lotus, we feel it a bit more in the inner thighs. And then we're going to roll up. Lovely. We're going to make our way to a downward dog, and you can do that whichever way you want. So you could just cross the legs, you can stretch them, you can swing them back, or if you wanted to have a little play, cross, jump, vinyasa, downward dog. Just if you want to have a little bit of fun. And then we're going to float the left leg up. Draw the left knee into the chest, step the left foot outside the hand, draw up your right knee to the mat. Coming back into your lizard pose. So I took you through a lot of the variations earlier on. So either on your hands or on your forearms. That's it. Yeah, and then we talked about the back foot, either pointed or tucked under. And then we talked about the front foot, either grounded or on the outer edge. So just try things. See what works for you. Yeah, and Sophie and Luana are kind of moving around a little bit, kind of moving into the depth of the pose and then pulling out. And that goes really nicely with the theme we've been exploring today, that theme of fluidity. So if you want to move around, feel free to. If you prefer to just stay there, that's fine as well. And then we're going to come back onto our hands and glide that left foot into pigeon. So once again, if you need to take eye of the needle to protect your knee, come on your back and take eye of the needle. Otherwise, coming into your pigeon, first on your fingertips and then folding forwards. And try not to have any expectations of it feeling the same way on the other side. So we usually have one hip that is tighter than the other. So just treat it as a new pose. Each side is going to be different. So yeah, just really cater to that side, to that hip, that knee. And then bring yourselves onto your hands, come up. And we're going to drop into that left hip and swing the right leg all the way over. So if you need to extend your left leg, please do. I'll just demo it like that. And then take your right hand behind you, your left arm up, hook your left elbow outside your left knee, and look over your right shoulder. And just make sure that you're not putting tension in your shoulders. So you don't want to lift them up towards the ears. You want to keep them nice and spacious and open. And we all suffer from tension in our shoulders, especially those of us who are desk-bound or who drive a lot. And then counter twist, just briefly to the other side. Come back to center. So we're going to take that square fire log pose once again with our right shin in front this time. So your right shin is either in front or on top, okay? And as I mentioned, it's not half lotus, so we don't want to take the foot to the thigh like this. This is our half lotus. It's very different. Okay, so the ankle really comes onto the knee. It is challenging. And then sit nice and tall and fold forwards. And we'll take a few breaths there. Nice, deep breaths. Just breathing in and out. Breath in. Breath out. Lovely. You can explore a little bit of fluidity in the spine. Okay, let's slowly roll up. Just stretch your legs and give them a nice little shake out. Excellent. And then bend your knees. We're just going to come and lie on our backs. And we can come back into that constructive rest pose. So with the knees bent, feet flat, just coming back to where we started. And taking a few moments here just to connect, to hold the space for our feelings, sensations, emotions, thoughts. So just allowing ourselves to absorb what space we're in now. Absorb and observe. And then we're just going to take the knees into the chest. Just give them a nice big hug. And then stretch your arms out to the side, nice and wide. Lovely. And drop your knees to the right. So drop both knees to the right. And you can relax the head towards the left-hand side. And take a few breaths there. Lovely. So the body is completely relaxed. The feet are not hovering. They're on the mat. The knees are not hovering. They're relaxed. The neck is rolling to the left in order to release that neckline as well. And then we're slowly going to come back to center and just drop the knees the other way. Lovely. Just taking a few breaths there, just completely relaxed there. Good. Just take a few more moments here. And spinal twists are absolutely amazing just to release that tension throughout the whole spine. Sometimes when we practice them, the spine does creak a little bit. And then slowly coming back to center. And we're ready for our Shavasana. So we're going to stretch the legs out. And if you prefer to lie in Shavasana with your knees bent, that's absolutely fine. Otherwise, stretching the legs, releasing the palms to the side. Just allowing the shoulders to relax completely. The legs to relax completely. And as we take our Shavasana, we're just going to take a few moments to contemplate our ability to go with the flow. So we've taken this fluid, moving vinyasa today. And we're just going to think of ways that maybe we can integrate that into our day-to-day life. So just take a moment to think about where maybe you can add a little bit of fluidity, adaptability, ease in your life. And you might want to create a positive affirmation. So it could be something like, I am adaptable. I have the ability to embrace change. I go with the flow. Just create your own positive affirmations. No, not many. It can be 1, it could be 2, 3, probably not more than that. And don't overthink it, just go with what comes naturally. And then just repeat those positive affirmations 3 times silently to yourself. And then just let go of them. But just stay with the energy of those thoughts. And if you want to come back to that circular breath, you can inhale along the front of the body and exhale along the back. So once again, just creating that safe bubble for you to breathe in. Inhaling along the front of the body, exhaling along the back. Let's slowly allow the breath to deepen. Just finding a little bit more force and vibrancy in your breath as it starts awakening your body. Maybe little movements, fingers, toes. And then stretching the arms, the legs. Bringing the knees into the chest, giving them a hug, giving yourself a little rock from side to side. And then rolling onto your left side, making a pillow with your left arm. Taking your right hand to the mat, and we'll sit in a cross-legged seated position. Just taking our hands in prayer, in Anjali Mudra. And we're going to seal our practice here. Namaste, thank you so much. Thank you everybody for practicing today with us.